Hey besties, let's throw some shade, honey. You ready to get into it? Good morning, hey besties. It's Behind the Shade. And child, we gotta talk Belle Collective Birmingham. It is season 1, episode 2. Tiff happens. Child, why does Birmingham get an intro? It was nice. I don't know what they're doing down there in Jackson, but we won't go there because without Jackson, there would be no Birmingham. But besties, let's get into it. So remember, last week we're at Stormy's, her event. And Amber is confronting Kayla about not speaking to her when she spoke to her, and she's done it twice. She's ignored Amber twice. So Kayla tells Amber that she would not have not spoken to her on purpose, you know, even though it's been 2 times. And so she said, yeah, if you speak, I'll speak back. And it's like, well, they said you didn't. They said you didn't. Now, Kayla, what's going on with you, honey? And so she was like, it'd be so much going on. And girl, whatever. Hey, it's giving you don't like Amber. And you probably don't. And you got confronted about it. And now we just want to know, are you going to speak next time? Are y'all cool? Is it good? Are you going to recognize her? Are you going to be able to put a face to a name? Will we be able to move forward? Or will this be this be the drama that you're bringing? That's all we want to know. Because the drama is very light. We're getting a format where we get to understand each woman and see what she's about. But we know that the drama is brewing. We already know, right, besties? Uh-huh. So then, Stormy is like, okay, cool. We cool. Y'all cool. You cool. Good. Well, we all can go to lunch now. So they're like, okay, cool. So we meet Willie, who has been married to Tiffany for 3 years. That's her husband. They are planning a game night for couples. And she's so excited because they have a new website that they're launching. And it's going to have their new products on there. They sell hats and t shirts, and their brand is called Chosen. And that came from when she asked him, how did he know she was the one? And he said, I just chose you. So their brand is Chosen. Y'all let me know what's over there. Okay. I don't need a hat. I don't need a t shirt. So their baby boy is turning 2 years old. And honey, mama's wants another baby. Honey, but Papa wants a vasectomy. So, oh no, oh no, oh no, it's giving me Latrice and Cliff vibes. So what we learned is that the older son is his boy, and the older daughter is her daughter. And then they have a son together. And he was like, that's enough for me. He was like, I'm good. 2 boys, 1 girl, I'm good. And she looking like, now wait a minute, bruh. I'm sitting here trying to paint this perfect marriage on this here television screen. You was not supposed to say that. That's not what we discussed. She looking like, you are go with the program. That's what she was looking like. So yeah, the internet will be writing on this story. Okay, be careful, Tiffany. So Miss Funmi is gathering the ladies at her house. She got, a bar. She has it going on, right? Well, we really didn't know what she was planning, but here we are at her house and she's hosting the ladies. So, yeah, Stormy and Trey come by first. And, she's at the door with her dog. She carries Trey everywhere. And it's like, she asked Fumi, can he come in? Is it okay? And Funmi was like, "Oh yeah, sure, but what if it wasn't okay? What would you have done with Trey if she would have said no?" Because some people don't like dogs in their home. Some people are okay with dogs, but just don't want to be bothered when they're having company and trying to host. Some people are afraid of dogs, and they get in the way. They need attention. They want to roam. They want to climb on stuff, and it's just, you should ask before you arrive with your pet. And if that's how you rock and roll, I didn't see any pet bag that she could have put them in, any kind of little portable crate, you know, whatever. It's like, girl, you need to be a little, don't impose. Okay. Everybody don't like Trey like you like Trey. And does he ever stay at home? Courtney couldn't have watched him. Oh, I remember Courtney has a big dog. So anyway, so as soon as Stormy get there, Fumi's telling a story about the bad vibe she got from Tiffany. And then here comes Amber. And so here go Funmi telling the story over again. I'm like, okay, girl. So then Amber is like shocked because, Tiffany is her girl and she would never. She's not like a Kayla. I'm like, here we go. Okay, I guess we got to start the pot. We got to stir this drama pot some kind of way, but we going to have to bring it, ladies. This at all, I don't like her vibes. Okay, if you don't like someone's vibes, then just don't rock with them. Give them cordial. What is this? Like, this how we starting? Can we get some real drama later? Hopefully. Okay. Let's move on. So then child Tiffany walks in. Baby Trey, who never, well, we don't know him, but he didn't say nothing last week. He never says anything. Child, Tiffany walked in that room. Honey, Trey is shaking and growling and barking at her. And dogs know, they pick up on energy. And Funmi is like, see, I told you, even the dog knows. I'm not wrong here. The dog does not like Tiffany. But guess what? Tiffany don't like the dog. She was like, get him out of here. He's in the kitchen and we're going to be in here eating. Get him out of here. So then Sonetta comes, and we don't know much about her. Maybe she's just a friend of, maybe. And so Funmi, welcomes the ladies to her culture. She cooked traditional Nigerian food. She has a spread, honey. She has the clothing for the ladies to try on. They're going to do a little fashion show. And if they want, they can buy the items. Child, Funmi took it up a notch. She is serving caviar. She wants everyone to try a bump of caviar. I'm like, where are the potato chips? Funmi, I like Pringles. Where are the chips? And so, these country girls are looking like, and Stormy was like, no. Where are the neck bones? Where is the chitlins? Where is she said she would even eat a pig something. Pig ears, maybe she said. I was like, ooh, you are really Southern. Okay. So then they bring up Tiffany's game night, because it's for couples. And she does everything with couples, right? And so she did not invite Funmi because she knew that her husband wouldn't be able to come. But Funmi wants to come. She was like, but can I still come? Is it okay? And it's like, why would you want to come to somebody's event and you don't like her? You don't get good vibes from her. Why do you want to come? So she's going to be able to come. She wants more abuse. And so Stormy is going to come. She says, Courtney not coming. I was like, see, my boy don't want to be on nobody else's TV screen. He got trauma from Love and Marriage Huntsville. He ain't doing it, honey. So when they did the bumping, they got to talking about who swallows. Because, you put the bump in between your thumb and your index finger, right? You put it right there in your hand and you just eat it. You hit it, right? So then they got to talking about, well, who in here swallows? And it was like, what? Have you ever been swallowed? Shout out to TD Jakes. Um, Stormy said once, and then Funmi said she wants a new house. So, honey, she gonna do whatever it takes. So, so Amber is gonna host the game night. She gotta cover the door, child, like it's some club or something. I'm like, do people gotta pay to enter? Because why do you need to be at the door? But I guess she's gonna be a greeter, like at church. You have someone to say hello. Your coats go over there. What's your name? Welcome. You go over there. Here's a name tag. I don't know. So Stormy was like, oh, well, if you're gonna be at the door, Amber, then I'll come cover the door with you. And so then Funmi was like, well, I can cover the door too. And so Tiffany's like, wait. I don't need three of y'all covering the door. What is happening? Like, y'all need to come with your husbands, not come by yourself to cover the door. So then they learned that Kayla is not married. And Funmi was like really taken aback. She was like, I thought you were married. And she says, no, I'm recently divorced. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I thought that man you was with. No, that's my new boyfriend, hun. Yes. Aaron Hall. Uh-huh. So then they get dressed, they put on the dresses with the hair pieces, and they do their catwalks and their modeling. And girl, Funmi even had a photographer there to take pictures. They liked how Stormy was walking. Stormy got a cold walk. She got a cold walk. And Tiffany's like, yeah, everybody wants me to model because I'm so little. I look good in everything. Okay. And then they also pointed out that Sanita she did good. Like she did good. She was giving face, body, all that. So Stormy asked the ladies, are they available to join her at her TikTok live? And so Tiffany says, oh, I just hate attention because the cameras will be there. Y'all don't mind being on camera? Here go Tiffany. I hate attention. But then Stormy brings up and has to remind Tiffany, well, girl, ain't you the woman that went viral on TikTok because your man proposed to you and had a surprise wedding? Yeah, 5.6 million views on TikTok, and you don't like attention? Girl, if you don't stop. So they run the tape back. And if did y'all pay attention? Was that Ricky Smiley walking her down the aisle? I had rewound it. And I was like, that is Ricky Smiley. Because they are in what? Birmingham, Alabama. And that's where he's from. Yeah, so there's some connection going on. So they all like, okay, well, how did that happen? And so it's pretty much her best friend and her husband planned it all. And it was on the same day as his surprise birthday dinner. So she already had invited his family and friends that were coming into town. So it was already set. So the location, the venue, and the food was already set. And so, the guest was already set, right? And so they asked, well, what about your wedding dress? How did you get that? And so she says that her best friend was getting married. And so they went to try on dresses, right? And she saw a dress she liked. And she was, manifesting her wedding. So she put the dress on layaway, honey. She was like, So Funmi is like, oh, I'm too type A for that. I would not be able to handle that. But I'm happy for you. That looks good on you. And so Tiffany was like, well, I want a man that leads. And honey, if you knew, and I mean, Funmi knows, because I'm sure she probably had a Nigerian wedding. It is so much detail and time and money and all the people that are involved in order to have a big wedding. Like, who wants to go through? I know people do, but I'm the type I don't. I got married in my living room with about 6, 7 people there, honey. That was beautiful enough for me, baby. So, because I just didn't want all that. And at this age, I don't want to be nobody else's bridesmaid, maid of honor, matron of honor. I don't want to do it. Get somebody else to do it. The best I can do for you at your wedding, I can be with the girls are doing. I can be at the door. I'll be the greeter. I'll be the greeter who invites everyone in, give them the warm, beautiful smile and say hello and hugs and kisses. That's all I got. Okay. Long as I can wear flats. I'm not wearing no heels. Okay. All right. I've done my time. I've been in about, I haven't been in that many weddings because I know a lot of single people. I've only been in about maybe 3 weddings, and that was enough for me. That was enough for me. Thank you. No, that's not my thing. Well, okay. So Tiffany says when they went on their honeymoon, that's when she got pregnant because the son came a year later. Well, honey, Stormy over there talking about I got questions, but I won't ask. I'm like, girl, was it a shotgun wedding? She was pregnant first, and they had to get hurry up and get married. That's why he decided to do it on his birthday. Tell us, girl. Child, y'all already know we're gonna get that later on. We're gonna get all that later on. Plus, we have the internet. They're gonna tell us everything. Okay. Okay. So Tiffany has to leave because she got to go get her kids. And so Funmi then tells the ladies once again how Tiffany was giving her bad vibes. It was telling her not to take her best friend from her. So at this one event, Funmi has said this 3 different times. Girl. Okay, so the event went well. The girls are having a good time, bonding and all that. Okay, good. So, but before we go to the next scene, she had asked, should I talk to Tiffany about this? And they're all like, yeah, just have a talk with her. It's like, okay, we got to get the drama going. So, child, Stormy is at her photo shoot with Lala Anthony, honey. And we learned that Lala slid in Stormy's DMs. I was like, what? Is that how that happens? Honey, this internet is something magical. You understand me? Honey, I know Stormy said, we'll see. Because that's what she said. We'll see. Child. I said, oh, they was like, let's help each other. I'm gonna help you and you gonna help me, honey. And honey, Lala's surgeon, great job on her body. Great job on her body because the body is bodying. Yes, I had to throw that in there. I cannot give you credit when you didn't earn it on your own. Okay. So then we see Kayla in her element. She's at the studio working with the child models and all. And we learn that Aaron Hall's name is Jason. He stops by with the flowers and all. This is her boyfriend who we saw last week. He's in town. They have a distant lover type of relationship. Shout out to Marvin Gaye, R.I.P. He lives in Dallas. So he's in town, and she says when he comes in, he gets, he rents a hotel. I'm like, I know he does. You have 4 children in your house. He ain't staying over there. I know that's right, girlfriend. Don't be putting no other man on them kids. We learned, honey, that Jason, aka Aaron Hall, is 17 years older than her. So she told us she's like 35. So he's 52. That's a big difference. Okay, so they've been dating a year and she wants her kids to meet him. Slow down, Kayla. Slow down. By what regard are you going off of? It sounds like you're going off some kind of measurement timetable. If you date them a year, let them meet your kids. Sometimes it might be, no, you might need 16 months. You might need 17 months. You don't have to do things at the 12-year mark. Well, she's kind of feeling apprehensive about it, right? Because the co-parenting is hard, clearly, and she's like, and thank you, because you've helped me learn how to set boundaries. Stop, Kayla. Girl, you need to seek counseling. You do. You need to be pouring into yourself. And I understand you've been married all your life. You ain't been a teenager. You ain't been a young adult. You ain't did the club scenes. You ain't traveled. You ain't been around the world. And yeah. You don't have no bodies buried. I get it. You ain't got a whole bunch of notches on your belt. I understand. But you're going from one situation to the next. You just legally, the divorce went through, you said about 4 months ago. You've been dating Jason for a year. You have not given yourself time to get to know who you are at 35. So you're still acting like a 17-year-old, in my opinion. Yeah, especially after she said, I can't date anyone my age because no one 35 has been married for 18 years. Girl, there's a lot to unpack, and you need to seek counseling. You do. Baby girl, you need a psychiatrist. Okay, so we are at Stormy's work event. She got the canvas creativity. She got the creatives. There's a camp she's doing. She brought the crew with her to Birmingham, so she has them. They're doing a sit down, and the assignment was to create 500 videos of them, in the streets promoting the products, right? So one of the guys has an issue with one of the girls because she came over to where he was and interfered with what he had going on, stealing from him. When she, they was on a main street, there was plenty of people out, but she over there messing with him. Child, so some things had been said, some critiquing had been done, some feelings were felt, and I guess we'll just move on. So it is time, y'all, for the couples game night. Child. Child. Okay. What is going on here? So Stormy is wearing her Nigerian dress again. She said, honey, I love it. I'm going to wear this more and more and more. And I said, I heard that. This girl just straight up put that dress back on the same episode, child. I was like, Stormy, you do not. Okay, girl. So, child. So, Sanita arrives without her husband. And Tiffany a little mad about that. Because here comes Funmi without her husband. Tiffany a little mad at that because she like, it's supposed to be for couples. I'm not hosting singles. So then Sanita and Funmi decide to be a couple. So they join in with the games with each other, right? So they playing tic-tac-toe. And then, honey, here comes the nasty game. It's what was it called? Find the hole. Child, Stormy said it wasn't nothing but an orgy. So let me tell you what Find the Hole was about. So the wives put a straw in their mouths and they had their hands tied. Now the men had the empty water bottle in between their legs. So the women have to get on their knees. The men are standing up. They get on their knees and they have to stick the straw in the hole. Child, a mess. So then Funmi, pulls Tiffany to the side. She wants to address the comment about don't steal my best friend. And, Tiffany is like, I don't remember saying that. Now Stormy is over there listening because she said she's so nosy she can't help but try to hear what's going on. She was like, I don't remember hearing that. And so Funmi is like, yeah, you weren't warm and inviting like everyone else. Your vibe was off, And so Tiffany was like, well, when I come into a room, I own the room. Yeah, and I'm very confident in doing so. And so she says, so I don't. And then Fumi cut her off. And so Fumi was like, well, I'm not intimidated by your confidence. And Tiffany was like, so are we here to talk? You gonna let me finish? What we doing? And so Fumi was like, oh yeah, I did cut you off. Go ahead. And so Tiffany's like, yeah, you did. And Fumi looked like, oh, did Fumi get up and leave, or do we see that next week? But honey, Tiffany got too much mouth. Tiffany, don't hide behind the Bible. Don't hide behind being a Christian like them other folks that I won't mention. But don't sit here and hide behind all of that and be a blankety blank too. You know what I'm saying? So that was the end of the episode, besties. Not bad. Can't wait to see how this show develops, but I'm ready. But I'm not mad at the calmness. And if it's light, that's fine too. We don't need Love and Hip Hop. We don't need Love and Marriage Huntsville, but we need a little something to keep us going. But besties, please, please, please make sure you subscribe to my channel and make sure your notification bell is on. Make sure to like the video, hype the video, and drop down in the comments. So let's talk about this episode. And let's see, I'm off tomorrow. We got Real Housewives of Atlanta and Rhode Island. You'll get that by Monday evening. Okay, happy Saturday and have a great day, besties. I'll be back. Bye, besties.